The plane hadn't even left the tarmac when chaos erupted in row 17. Two well-dressed black siblings, no older than their mid-20s, politely asked the flight attendant for help with their luggage. What followed wasn't assistance, but humiliation. The flight attendant shouted at them, accusing them of being demanding and entitled. Passengers watched in stunned silence, some even chuckling. But what no one knew, especially the shouting attendant, was who these siblings were. A single call was made from seat 17B, and within minutes, the plane came to a screeching halt. What happened next stunned the entire airline industry. Keep watching. Sasha and Miles Carter weren't just average passengers. Their poise, calm demeanor, and designer bags might have hinted at wealth, but they never acted like it. Sasha, a rising tech entrepreneur, and Miles, a renowned civil rights attorney, were flying home after giving a keynote speech on equity in corporate America. They had flown dozens of times before, but never experienced what was about to unfold. Wait a second, tell us where you're watching from in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more powerful stories like this. Boarding was smooth until they reached their row. Sasha struggled slightly to fit her carry-on into the overhead bin. She turned and politely asked the nearest flight attendant, a woman named Diane, for help. But instead of assistance, Sasha was met with a deep scowl. Diane snapped, "It's not my job to be your personal servant. Handle your own luggage like everyone else." Stunned by her tone, Sasha stepped back, trying to keep her composure. "I didn't mean to offend, just needed a hand." "You people always expect special treatment," Diane mumbled loud enough for nearby passengers to hear. A few heads turned. Some pretended not to notice. Others smirked. Miles stood up and calmly intervened. "There's no need for this hostility. We were just asking for help." But Diane wasn't done. "If you don't like how things work here, you're free to get off this plane." The siblings quietly returned to their seats. Sasha pulled out her phone and texted someone. Miles looked at her and nodded. "Time to remind them who we are." Sasha's message read, "Experiencing racial profiling on Flight 386, row 17. Airline VP needs to know. Sasha Carter." Why would a message like that matter? Because Sasha wasn't just a tech entrepreneur, but also a board advisor to the airline's Corporate Diversity Council. And the VP of Operations? A close personal friend. 20 minutes later, the intercom crackled just as the plane began taxiing toward the runway. "Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain. We've received an urgent instruction from ground control. We need to return to the gate immediately." Confused murmurs filled the cabin. The plane turned. Within minutes, two airline supervisors boarded the aircraft, whispering to the captain before walking straight down the aisle. They reached row 17. "Mr. and Ms. Carter, could you please come with us for a moment?" Diane smirked, thinking the siblings were being removed. But then the bomb dropped. The supervisor turned to Diane, her smile gone. "You too, Diane." Gasps filled the cabin as the three walked out. A few minutes later, Diane was escorted back to retrieve her belongings. Without her uniform, Sasha and Miles were brought to a private lounge in the terminal. Apologies came pouring in, first from the gate manager, then a direct call from the airline's CEO himself. Diane had been placed on immediate suspension pending investigation. Within 48 hours, she was fired. The siblings didn't stop there. Miles penned an op-ed titled, "When Respect is Optional at 30,000 Feet, which went viral. Sasha worked with the airline's board to implement new anti-bias training for flight staff, pushing for transparent reporting of in-flight discrimination. The EEAKI story became a national headline, but Sasha and Miles didn't want revenge. They wanted change. "This wasn't about just us," Sasha later told the press. "It's about every traveler who's been treated like they don't belong, just because of their skin color. And thanks to one moment of disrespect and one powerful phone call, the airline and the world was forced to listen." If you enjoyed this story and found it thought-provoking, Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more powerful narratives. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Take car.